Everyone. So I was in the shower this morning where I often have shower thoughts, and I was thinking about how I hate group projects. I used to hate them growing up. I remember the feeling of being in the classroom and having the teacher say, we're going to have a group project, and literally the sinking feeling in my body around that was huge. I deeply hated them. I just knew I was going to end up doing a lot of the work and that I was going to have a lot of stress and I'm sure other people can relate to that. But that it just felt like it was going to be an incredibly stressful situation. And yet somehow I ended up in a world in film and television that is like a 100% humongous group project. So, um, and I was thinking about it a lot this morning and about my piece in that. And I have some bullet points here, so you'll see me looking over at it because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So I thought I've done a lot of realizations. You all know, if you know that I have a podcast or anything, you know that I have a realization of my neurodivergence later in life. And there are so many things that I look back on. For example, and I can talk about this again in another one of these, but I had someone come to me years ago and say that they were writing a book on resilience and could they interview me on why I'm so resilient? And I really, like, I don't even think I made it in the book because I don't know, or I didn't at the time. And now I look back on it and I think I know why I'm so resilient or what people see as resilient. It's because I'm on spectrum and I don't know how to let go. I have to finish things. That my oldest kid has the exact same thing. Has to finish, not doesn't want to abandon things. And then there's also the ADHD side of me that abandons things all the time. But once I'm in and once I've got a team and once I have people that I could let down, I don't stop. And I'm not sure that's healthy resilience, to be quite frank, but that is the way my brain works. So in thinking about these group projects, um, and who I am and what I bring to things, uh, as a neurodivergent creator, my pace is just different. My thought process is different. The way I show up is different. My strengths are different. Um, and and I think there's a lot of us in this career that are neurodivergent, and so we're all sort of trying to figure out those differences and where we're good and where we need support. And what I've realized over time is that I'm a great leader and collaborator, right? Once I'm in, I'm in. I'm a driving force. We get things done. We hit milestones. We grow. I'm a disruptor in the best possible way and a momentum person. So we're moving forward. Things are great. And I'm a fantastic partner once I'm in a project. The tension is in the beginning. That's where it's tricky for me. I can seem rigid, too particular. When I was younger, it was that I was a goody two shoes, or I'm too guarded, or people feel like I won't be open to hearing about their differences. It's just that I'm processing things differently. Um, and I am particular with language. I will say that as part of, again, my neurospiciness. But overall, I'm masking all the time. And I'm trying to understand the system, the people, the expectations. If somebody tells me I need to do something, I tend to do it. And it's been really hard for me to understand that there's a huge portion of the world that doesn't always do the things that they say they're going to do in the time period that they say they're going to do them, not because they're good or bad people. It's just other people understand sort of the unwritten social contract as to when you do those things and when you don't. And I don't have that contract. So I tend to do them all the time, which keeps me in a space of anxiety, often, to be really vulnerable. Because I don't want to let people down. I'm so afraid that I will. And then if I do the thing, but nobody else does the thing, I've got anxiety that I was the only one who did the thing. And why wasn't I smart enough to not do the thing? I mean, it's just a lot. There's a lot in this brain up here. Um, but as I'm trying to figure out all of that stuff at the beginning, as I'm trying to figure out who people are at the very beginning of things, um, I also do know that once we're past that, that things will be fine. Um, I used to say, and people don't like it that I used to say this, but I thought it was funny. I used to say that I'm like a fungus. I grow on you. And it's true. And that's because at the beginning, there's all of these ideas about who I am. And I'm masking so much, like there, of course there are those ideas. And then once we're in relationship, people really get to know me and my heart and my work ethic and my integrity and all of those good things. Um, so where this deepens for me on a professional standpoint, because I want to talk about this because I teach people how to navigate these things on a professional landscape. Part of the reasons why I can teach that to people and see it so clearly is because I have had to really work through all of these things and notice them in order for me to navigate them. So I can see patterns and I can see what's happening and I get intuitive hits on people really, really quickly. And so that's part of the gifting of this, right? So where I am and how I function has real impacts in the way that I can move throughout this industry because it is an industry built on people saying yes to you early. That early momentum tends to be where people put a lot of emphasis, whether that is assembling teams, chemistry in the room, getting the yes, getting the money, whatever that is. So much of that is built on an early yes. And that is where I'm challenged. So the hardest part of the industry is not for me doing the work. I can do that all day long. It's getting past those initial moments where people decide if they can trust me and or if they like me or if they figure like they can hang out with me. All of those things are important in this industry. So the barrier is not my ability in any of those spaces. It is being able to be in that room in a way that feels aligned for both me and the other people who are there. So this issue that I have impacts everything. It impacts financing, it impacts teams. It's really interesting when you look at the projects that I've packaged. Creatives absolutely are in with me right away. Actors will attach. Creative partners are right there on board. That is not my issue. But when it comes to sort of the business aspects of things, that is a bigger challenge for me. And not like it's not like I can't get it done. It's just it's a bigger challenge for me. So that is just something that I grapple with all the time. So I feel like I'm slower in the process of my life because I am just now realizing some of these things as I've gotten a better understanding of how my brain works. So what I've learned is that while I hated group projects when I was younger, that we have to jump in. This is the ultimate group project. Creating, for me, producing a film, which I have several I'm working on, it's a group project, like it or not. You can't do it alone. So I have to find my people. I have to constantly figure out who would be best aligned with things, whether that's a project or me or timing, all of that good stuff. And I have to understand how I work so I can let other people know how I work and I can show up in ways that will continue to further things. So the other piece of that puzzle is finding the small, incredibly trusted group of people who can help support me when things are harder. And I have that, which is a really great thing. And I wish that for everybody to have a small group of people that understands you and can help support you because these things that we do are hard. And the right partners change it. They change everything. They change how we're able to show up. I would actually argue, even in listening to so many of the behind the scenes stories around Hamnet, that set was, Chloe Zhao is also neurodivergent, and that set was so much about supporting each other's emotional needs, frequency needs, energy needs, all of that. And that is perhaps as much of an inspiration to me as the film is. The fact that she did it in a way that really honored her brain and those around her, so that everybody could show up to do this work as their more full selves. So that was an aside that I wasn't planning on saying, but there you go. So I know that it's really vulnerable for me to talk about and for me to put on the internet. And I am sure it's all very vulnerable for us to think about as creatives. Because it means being really, really honest about where you're strong and where you need support. So I just encourage you to think about that a little bit and think about what that is for you. I think that it's actually more true for us than many of us talk about. And it's an invitation maybe to think about what it is for you. Right now, that the industry, as we all know, we keep talking about, is shifting. That means that things are certainly going away and collapsing and being limited, but it also means that there's an incredible landscape of opportunity for us if we can, again, just find the people who are aligned with our different projects and keep moving forward. So maybe the question in all of this isn't how do I do it perfectly or how do I do it the way everybody else thinks I should do it? Maybe it's how do I find the right people to do it, to do my projects with in a way that feels in alignment for all of us. So just food for thought. I just wanted to share that. I will again continue to share what I sort of can about the wins and the disappointments that come along with different projects and different things I'm working on. But I did really feel it on my heart to talk about what it's like to navigate this incredibly important part of this business when you know that you have a really hard time connecting with people immediately. All right. Well, that's it for today. And thanks for listening. I'll talk to you guys next time.